you can tell by just first of all, the two things that you'd look for. One is the stigmata. It takes, this is Crocus sativa. And so the crocus bulb, it's actually a corm, is planted. And they're planted about I would say 12 centimeters apart. And excuse me, they're about 4 to 5 centimeters apart, about 3 to 4 centimeters deep, and they're planted in lines. They are a fall blooming crocus, so they'll collect the flowers in the fall. In fact, they'll be collecting them. They are emerging now, so they'll be collecting them over the next few weeks. It takes, to make 1 kilo of saffron, requires about 150 to 175 flowers. So all of them are hand-picked. 1 kilo. It retails for about $6,000 to $7,000 US per kilo, and it's very labor intensive. So the producers have to go through, harvest it in the field very early in the morning, take it in baskets inside where it's safe. They then cut out the stigmata on it, and that's the only red part of it. If they leave the filament on, it's a lower grade. So with that, if there's any yellow in it at all, that's your first indicator that it's a lower grade saffron. This is all very dark red. And another indicator, may I, Ponce? I'll replace what I use here.
Is that mine?
If you want it.
Of course.
When you first open it, is to smell it, and you'll smell a smoky, kind of a smoky.
I always thought it smelled like chlorine. In a sense.
It dissipates rather quickly. The other way, in fact, the saffron producer, when I questioned the quality of the saffron, he took it, and you'll see his picture here. Here's the producer, and there's the flower. Pass that around. He'll take it, and he'll put it, just a couple of filaments, call them threads, and he will take it and put it on his tongue. I have to be careful because there has been a report of some.
You get high?
I've never placed that.
Is that the real
See? Pampapula po yan, yung paella or the basmati rice, you know. Oh my God.
So that's a good indicator that it gives off good color for coloring the rice and giving it a good flavor as well. One of the main reasons I brought it here, and I'm probably going to go ahead and toss out what I was going to present. I think this is more interesting. And that is, I have worked with, in the States, some very high-end chefs. One of them in particular is Mario Batali. He's opened a new restaurant in Hong Kong right now, and the chef is a friend of mine. I'm taking some of it up, and I want it evaluated by chefs here, and I also, for quality, also want to have Mario Batali's crew in Hong Kong evaluate it for quality as well. So when I'm in Afghanistan, I'm always looking for export items. So if you take a look at that guy, he's been producing it for 8 years. His first name, they call him Haji. Do you know what Haji means?
He performed the Hajj.
He performed the Hajj. So he went to Mecca. He's producing it for 8 years. I hired him to teach it to some women's group. This is an interesting story, I'll tell you. That's why I'm going to throw out my presentation. Because I was asked to work with a women's group, which is very difficult in Muslim society, especially very conservative Muslim societies. So when they walk in, they're all covered with their burqas. Once they're inside, then they can go ahead, and some of them will take off their burqas, just their covering, their face covering and nothing else, and to work with them. So in working with them, I found out that, first of all, the government had given them money